Beauty.
I don't know about you all, but I think it is an absolute joke that we're supposed to rely on the FBI to get us the truth about these attempts on Donald Trump's life. How can we, the American people, rely on the same FBI that raided Mar-a-Lago, that literally raided Melania's underwear drawers? How are we supposed to rely on them to conduct an honest investigation? Let's be real here, folks. If anything, they may be in on it. But for real, how can we honestly sit here and even pretend to be confident in these investigations? It's like you don't allow a chef to be their own taste testing judge on Iron Chef. You don't allow a singer to be Simon Cowell, the judge of their own performance on American Idol. So why would you allow the FBI to conduct or to be in charge of this investigation, investigating a guy who was obviously on an FBI watch list, who they were obviously already aware of, who seems to be part of some type of conspiracy to take Trump out? I mean, if anything, aren't we supposed to be kind of looking at the FBI sideways here? But of course, this situation, this latest attempt on Donald Trump's life, not the first one, not the bomb scare that just happened, but the one that happened at the golf course, because there's so many of them now. But anyway, the one that happened in West Palm Beach, Florida. When this news broke, one of the main things I was wondering is, okay, how is Ron DeSantis going to handle this? Because obviously Trump and DeSantis were at odds, during the election or the primaries or whatever. But I felt as if there was a good chance that Ron DeSantis would handle this differently than what we've seen, the case being handled out in Butler. So he's announced that he's conducting his own investigation, and local authorities are going to conduct their own investigation, as the FBI is also conducting their investigation. And from what he's been saying, the FBI has not been cooperating with him. Let's go ahead and listen to this quick interview, and then I'll be right back with more.
I want to turn to another topic, because we were relieved to hear that you are doing your own independent investigation in Florida concerning the second assassination attempt on President Trump. My question to you tonight is, are the feds being cooperative with your investigation? Are you concerned that you're not getting the information you need?
The answer is no, they're not being cooperative. Yes, I am concerned. I mean, for example, we were rebuffed, our investigators were rebuffed just going to the fence line outside of Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach. And so I think they've taken the position, they don't want the state of Florida to be involved in this. But here's the thing. There were multiple violations of Florida law across multiple jurisdictions. We think at least 3 judicial circuits. This guy, Ryan Routh, committed potential violations of Florida law. So we have a duty to investigate this. We have a duty to bring the appropriate charges. And we also have a duty to inform the public about how this happened. So I don't anticipate they're being cooperative. I think that they've just taken that position. And I think that that's unfortunate, because even though I've been very clear, state of Florida is going to do an investigation, I've not disputed their right to also investigate. It's the federal government. He was in their protective custody as a presidential candidate. But let us do this. So hopefully that tune will change. But I can tell you right now, Laura, we have not gotten a lot of receptive response.
Very disturbing. By the way, we have Ruth's mugshot, where he looks to be slightly smirking. He's a very strange individual, to say the least. But we've heard other FBI agents, former agents, governors, say they think it's quite odd that in the first assassination attempt and the second assassination attempt, there's almost an immediate response from the feds saying that, oh, looks like he's acted alone, or we really don't know what the motives are here. Oh, does that strike you as slightly strange, to say the least?
Yeah, I don't think the public has confidence when that is being done. So as soon as we got word of this on Sunday, I told our guys in state law enforcement, save all his social media, because Facebook will delete it. The tech companies want to delete it.
Right.
Get his digital trail, store that, because we need to know, how did he end up in Florida to begin with? What is this pathway this guy has taken to end up in those bushes trying to assassinate the former president of the United States and current Republican nominee? How did that happen? And we have not gotten answers about Butler. We haven't gotten answers about things like the Las Vegas shooting from many years ago. So part of the investigation that our folks are doing is they are going to provide evidence they find of motive, evidence of his associations, and evidence of his beliefs.
Good.
I think that's very important that the public get the real story on that.
Yeah, well, and the FBI has shredded its own credibility. And Governor, thank goodness you're doing an investigation. I was so happy to hear that. And it's wonderful to see you tonight. Thank you so much.
So obviously the question is, why is the FBI acting shady here? I mean, at the end of the day, isn't what we want just the truth? Shouldn't we be happy that there are other investigations happening into the situation as well? Shouldn't they be ready and willing to work with the extra people, happy to have extra people on the case? Why not? But the FBI is acting shady. They're not cooperating. And that leads me to believe it's because they don't want the full truth out there. They want their version of the truth out there. As you know, there's all this talk about possible civil war and all this other stuff. And I don't necessarily believe that we're going to see something like that again. But what we're witnessing right now, I mean, obviously it's not a physical war, people coming to blows, but you're seeing a divide in this country when the FBI is at odds with local law enforcement as they both conduct investigations into the same crime. And this is how you see, the states start splitting apart, folks. So I'm not saying this is civil war, like we're fighting brother and brother, the cannonballs are flying around. Obviously there's not cannonballs anymore, but you get what I'm saying here. But in many ways, this is kind of what something like a civil war would look like, at least in the modern day, because we're starting to witness, stuff like this happening. The government, the overall government, they're not all working step in step. Now you got states splitting away, and we want to conduct our own investigation because we can't trust y'all. And we don't want you conducting this investigation because we're hiding the truth. And it's just an all-around crazy situation. This is something that, if you were to have asked me something like this 15 years ago, I would never believe that we would be right here as a country right now, where there's literally an investigation into the second assassination attempt on Donald Trump within 2 or 3 months, and there's a split where the FBI is basically fighting with local law enforcement in Florida because neither one of them are trusting each other to conduct this investigation. Maybe one side's trying to hide the truth and the other is actually trying to expose the truth. But for now, I want you all to let me know what you think about all of this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.